Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Ghost of Antietam event. Smoke and Steel has a week off because some of the leaders for the championship regiments were off. So we'll be back at that next week, but for now we have a Ghost of Antietam matchup for you. Our first round today is going to be the Otto and Sherrick, followed up by the Pry Grist Mill. Before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. So, our regiments for today, on the CSA side, you have the 7th South Carolina, 6th Arkansas, 7th Louisiana, 1st South Carolina, 14th Tennessee, the Chinese regiments, which include the 8th Virginia and the 1st North Carolina Sharpshooters. You have the Shenandoah Regulars, 20th Georgia, Eagles Brigade, Archers Brigade, and Evans Independent Brigade. And then on the Union side, you have the 14th Indiana Midwest Brigade, 65th Illinois, 11th Pennsylvania, 1st Ohio, 8th Connecticut, London's Rifles, 1st Maryland, 2nd United States Sharpshooters, and the 3rd United States Horse Artillery. My goodness. There's a couple of regs there. Server pop today is 235. Inbalance is 1 towards the CSA side. Artillery-wise, Union has 12. CSA has 9. So our infantry inbalance right now is 3 in favor of the CSA side. Not a huge imbalance there, but we're off. They started at 42, and Union is gung-hoing it. This is what you traditionally see from Union on this map. They'll just spawn in and go for it. CSA like to have their defensive line on top of this hill, and Union's just not even going to bother with that and kind of go for the center of this map.
It's a yard sale.
And they're going to hopefully be able to draw CSA out, maybe defeat them in detail a little bit. Union bringing their flags across, which is what I like to see as well. And CSA is not really heavily defending. So Union sweeps through that initial group. Got 6 Arkansas up top here, running forward to try to put some lead into the Union guys. And this is an aggressive start. Union generally likes to hold here. You got artillery going off, overshot by a little bit. I don't think they're expecting the rush by Union, but CSA's not really throwing them out. Got a lot of CSA over here as well. We'll note this map has a 52% ticket advantage to the Union side. The Union weapons on this map, they've got the 28th Massachusetts. And in a second, we'll see that 14th Tennessee is going in for it. Speaking of that, frontline reporter here. For the CSA side, you got 14th Tennessee Meat Cutter. And then the opposite side here, you got Zach from the Midwest Brigade. Appreciate those guys so we can also see what's going on the ground while we mostly watch the overhead view here. Union holds that 4th Tennessee charge. If CSA wants to throw the Union off, they have to go in together. They can't spread out like that. You're not going to be able to overwhelm the Union. So, continue where I left off a moment ago. Union has the 20th Massachusetts with the option of the Enfield. And they have the 17th Michigan with the option of the Springfield 55 and the Springfield 61. CSA, on the other hand, they got the 1st Georgia with the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 42. So some of the CSA have Buck and Ball. And then they have the Palmetto Sharpshooters, which have the option of the Enfield or Mississippi. NCOs get the Whitworth, which have the scopes. So I'm sure the few CSA guys who have those scopes are going to appreciate that. I've only played with a scope once, and it was in a drill camp. Yeah. So you got 20th Georgia, 8th Virginia, Eagles Brigade starting to get a flank on the Union. This is one way to potentially beat the Union is by shooting into their little area there. And some of the Union actually going out. 8th Connecticut now trying to charge the CSA left. 2nd U.S. Sharps, AB, and 7th Louisiana holding. 1st Ohio here as well. Many regiments. And CSA is going to hold that, but I think Union was just looking to spread out a little bit because they're starting to get enveloped here, shot from all different directions, and it's working really well in CSA's favor. Again, Union's got a 52% ticket advantage, and yet CSA is up by 1/3 of a morale stage. So it's, you know, it's a wild thing. So it's not a terrible idea for Union. I mean, they're kind of weak. They're starting to spread out, but you could see the CSA spread out into 2 different groups. Union could try to charge one of these 2 sides and not overwhelm them, defeat them in detail in a sense. Both sides have similar numbers in this game, and because of that, you know that if you're surrounded, that means they're very thin compared to you if you were to charge one of those sides.
shoot them down on to get the balance out in, or do you want to do something aggressive?
Either that or we all push, but I mean, I don't think pushing makes any sense right now. Like you said, we got to get tickets a little bit more.
You can hear him talking about the strategy and ground. The officers have to talk that way. They can't communicate in through like a voice chat, Steam chat.
Start hitting them.
So CSA trying to envelop them a little more. You heard the officers talking whether they want to push up or kind of sit here. They talked about getting a ticket gain, but the problem is that CSA is a lot more spread out shooting into a little area. They're going to get a lot more kills, especially with the buck and ball that they have compared to you. Assuming CSA takes it, which I assume they would. So Union, I think, needs to get a little aggressive in charge here. Obviously a risk, but right now is not working, so you got to change up your plan. CSA putting a little more pressure. 6 Arkansas walking up. Getting a good amount of Midwest Brigade guys, forcing them to fall back in that little area. I mean, Union had a great start. They're in a great spot, but they've got to continue that momentum and hit one of these sides. I know they don't necessarily want to lose this spot, but you know, it's like playing a football game. You know, you see what your opponent tendencies are, see what they do, and just adapt from there. I mean, that's half the battle. It's just just being aware and realizing if something's not working, doing something else. But it used to be a strategy where Union would do what Union did here, except they would go inside of this house. And the devs shortly afterward made it so that you could not spawn players in houses because it would make the flag bearer out of line, which means the flag bearer would die in 30 or 60 seconds. I don't remember how long, but flags can't be in the house because then the game will kill you. So it really killed those house strategies, which is a little unfortunate because they were a lot of fun, at least as the Union side. Not so much for CSA. I remember us being in the house and CSA already would just shoot at the house and it would cause the game to lag like crazy. Which you got some CSA already up there, which Union counter battery looks to have hit. But I don't know where Union guns are aimed per se. But I mean, CSA they've got a good line there. I don't know if the artillery has seen that. Looks like they're moving a gun. Where's the gun? Why are they just moving casings? Anyways, yeah, I mean, that artillery, they're just counter-battering. I hope they have a gun faced towards the infantry. It looks like this gun is. I don't know why both guns are not facing the infantry. The counter-battery ain't going to do a whole lot. That was short, too. So, I mean, tickets might be slightly closer than earlier, so maybe Union's starting to gain some ground. I mean, again, it's not the worst thing in the world to be down tickets as an attacker. I mean, you have a ticket advantage, but you kind of expect to be down tickets. Because you have to charge in and, you know, actually take ground.
Yeah, keep that cannon crew off of it.
So, you have some CSA trying to get a flank here. Archers Brigade and 7th LA. Union Midwest Brigade charging them out, which is a good idea. Like that CSA's trying to spread out, but if they're going to overextend themselves like this, might as well try to charge them out and get some kills, which CSA hold this. But still, that's going to be a good charge for Union, as long as they can keep that flag. Yeah.
Run, you blue-bellied sons of bitches!
But Union hits engaged.
Oh shit, hey, what do you know?
CSA putting a little pressure. 6 Arkansas running a little too far forward, in my opinion. Again, right? If CSA wants to throw the Union off, they got to go in together. I get they're just running up and taking a shot, which is fine, but you don't want to give Union a chance to get those nice point-blank shots on you.
Just one more.
All right, gentlemen, here they come on the fence line. Oh, yeah. Independent fire, boys. Independent fire, straight ahead.
So Union's starting to push out a little bit. Looks like they're just running up, taking shots, falling back. CSA getting plenty of good hits here. I mean, it's elevated enough where Union does have to run out if they want to at least securely hit these
I
guys.
think Johnny got shot.
Yep, let's
And
be
just look at this
bro.
angle.
Reload in cover. Come out to shoot. I'm saying only one.
So, I mean, if Union does pop up, there's always a CSA guy here. He's a man of steel. Is he in the... Nope. He's just in with the dead bodies. I think he's listening to what they're saying.
We're not dying. That's what we're doing.
It's kind of funny. CSA dropped to engaged.
I love urban warfare.
Stack up, hold fire.
Right down, Maryland.
I ain't peeking that shit.
The point, by the way, is CSA running up, taking shots. It looks like 7th LA and AB pushed off, but point is right here. So Union's put themselves past the point, which you kind of have to go there in this map to engage the CSA.
At 31.
Oh, 31. Are they going to charge?
We are capping.
We're gonna go. We're going for Patrick.
15 bazillion dudes around me.
Get back. Shooting at? Man's brain just spraying.
And Union, speaking of... it looks like they're going to move to the point here. Or they might just cross to charge those guys. I don't know. Either is not a terrible idea.
Do we hop over the fence?
Go right. Just run on through.
They're all stuck there trying to go through, but they're running out. They're going to try to cap point, so they're going to try to force CSA into an engagement, hopefully a melee, so which is not a bad idea from the Union here. How aggressive is CSA going to defend this, though? CSA knows they're about to get in a melee regardless, so they might as well. I mean, I don't know if time's really a factor at this point. Union has... I mean, the thing is, right, is that if Union hits final push, that timer is going to drop. The black timer is going to drop to a couple minutes left. So, at the rate we're going, I doubt we'll see the black timer naturally go down to 0, but it's definitely possible.
I haven't even died yet. I ain't got no pistol rounds.
I like how we're sharpshooters in this tactics.
I've got aerials playing now, gentlemen. That's the next song.
So Union Cap's going to stop the black timer, give them a little more time, but I don't think Union's worried about time per se. But I think it's more Union wants to draw CSA in into a close engagement that Union thinks they can win, which isn't a bad idea. CSA is going to have to flank behind them, which Union can just turn around and get great shots on them. Meanwhile, let's see how CSA does this. You generally, as a defender, want to retake it quickly. You want the black timer to hit 0, so you want it to go down, right? So it's not as desperate if the defenders are up on tickets. So CSA can take this slow as long as they kind of keep a ticket lead. Which more of a little distraction there as you got CSA flanking around. Not a bad idea here. The thing is when you see these no Steam Chat events is that it can be very difficult for there not to be an overreaction from a team. So what I mean by that is, right, you got a couple of groups like Eagles Brigade, 20th Georgia, 2nd U.S. Sharps rushing down here, a couple of those guys. Sometimes you might see like half of these guys just rush down to the point because a lot of these groups, when a point gets capped, they're like, I don't know if my friendlies are going to get it. I'm going to go so I know that at least somebody's doing it. So, CSA not really overreacting, not a bad idea. CSA capping it kind of from both sides. First Ohio is doing a heck of a flank here. They're trying to use the cover. They might go for Union artillery. Who knows? And Union actually, you're going to charge out CSA. CSA's got to watch out. You don't want to lose your flags behind Union lines. Which one of those flags is going to get out for the moment.
Run, buddy, run, run!
And
No, don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! My asshole's sensitive! No, don't hurt me! Please, God, no! Oh my fucking God! Leave me alone! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Leave me the fuck alone! Don't touch me!
heck of a job by Colt there. My goodness. I don't know how he didn't die, but, you know, you'll take it. So, I mean, Union gets a good amount of kills there. Tickets have actually kind of evened out. So, if this continues at the rate that we're at right now, CSA will be down on tickets. And if they are down on tickets and they do retake the point, they will regain up to the percentage of tickets that the attacking team is at, or rather the original attacking team. Technically, CSA is the attacking team right now, but Union's actually pushing out here. I think they see that they're a little close and they just want to get some close, nice shots at them.
Negative, shoot him up.
I might have just got cheap killed.
I'm sorry, Juniper.
Keep shooting, keep shooting.
The Union guy just ran right from the line, got blasted.
Go to that group right there. Go.
Oh, you got Union charging in. Look at that.
Go home, Yankee. Keep it on taxes back. You're taking it. Get out of here, man.
Union seems to have taken a ticket lead here. Which, it looks like CSA is going to hold that, but not a whole lot of Union win in. But, I mean, one, Union's completely evened out the tickets, if not gotten a ticket lead, so that's great. Sure, CSA might will regain tickets if they're down once the counterattack ends, but oh well. Union having even tickets with the defending CSA is a lot better than being down a third of the stage, which is what they were in earlier. But another thing too, right, if Union outright holds till the gold timer hits 0, they win the match. And CSA's got to all go in here onto the point to attempt it, or they got to charge Union out and then go to the point. We saw CSA try to half cap it, which wasn't a bad idea, because you don't want to send everybody, but Union just shot them down and charged them out relatively quickly, which is a good response there from Union. So CSA's got to come up with a plan. They either got to all charge the point or try to force Union out of that position, which they might need to force Union out of position because it's a very strong spot, and if CSA just runs under the open point, Union can just shred them. So we'll see what happens, but they've still got a little bit of time to respond. You got Union moving out again. First Maryland and the London Rifles moving out. Looks like they're just trying to spread out their line a little bit more. Not be as blobbed up. If you have a very spread out team like CSA is, oh, nice arty shot. But if you got a really spread out CSA team shooting into a blob of Union, they're most likely going to hit someone. So, good idea for Union to spread out also artillery. So, actually pushing out a wide ways away, which I don't think they necessarily need to do, but maybe they're just trying to secure ground or cause some havoc, deal a ticket loss. I mean, you can't blame them. Union's in a great spot, so this isn't like a terrible decision. It's just, in my opinion, maybe not the best thing to do, but we'll see how it goes. Or actually, CSA is not expecting.
What is happening? Get the fuck out of my way. They're being flanked.
Hey, I guess props to Union there. CSA didn't see that coming. They were kind of oblivious to that. It honestly distracts a lot of the CSA too by those flags, and so Union, for all we know, could outright just... It's really looking like Union's going to outright hold this point, which would actually be fairly impressive. I don't know if at least not in a long time, I don't think I've seen Union actually outright hold a 12-minute counterattack on this point. And I think that's mostly just because Union took the center area and CSA really just kind of let the Union take it. And now you got some CSA going in, which that doesn't make any sense. CSA now is down a lot of tickets, my goodness. And this is not going to help your cause. Because at this point, if you're CSA, right, you're down on tickets. You're going to go up to the percentage of the tickets of the original attacking team. So if CSA retook the point right now, per se, they'd regain about a third of a morale station tickets and be even with Union. And percentage of tickets, they'd still be down tickets because I'm just talking percentages, not a raw number. So if the bars are even for each side, the attackers are going to have more raw tickets, but they'll have the same percentage. But at this point, if you're CSA, you want to retake this point as quickly as possible because once you retake, you're going to go up to the percentage of Union tickets, and you want Union to be as high as possible so that you, as a defender, can be as high of a percentage of tickets as possible. And here comes that CSA charge. I don't know if it's a whole team or not, but it looks like a good chunk. So Union is going to hold that. You got some more CSA coming in a little late. Maybe the other group was early. Who knows? Regardless, it wasn't together. 4.5 minutes on the goal timer. And I mean, big thing for Union, they got to keep the flags up, which CSA is making a little ground on. You got 1st Maryland, though, collapsing. Look how many CSA are sitting back, though, probably unaware of this charge going on and how close it is. And Union's going to be able to hold on to that. Wow. 4 minutes left. So, that's the thing, right? Before that charge happened, right, Union was at the beginning of taking losses. Now they're about a fourth or a third of the way through taking losses, right? As this counterattack goes, Union's losing more and more tickets, so that means CSA is not going to be able to regain as much. And that's something you don't want. But CSA dropped to breaking. CSA doesn't really matter a whole lot unless they hit their next stage. A final push, they are considered the attacking team, which is why they would hit final push. Union could hit last stand, and if CSA forced Union into last stand or retook the point, they'd automatically win. However, Union's not going to hit last stand. They have to be knocked down a morale stage and a half in 3.5 minutes, and that's never happening.
Alright, Arkansas, left face at the double quick.
I mean, it can happen in Conquest, but we're not playing that. So, wow. I mean, you can really see, I mean, CSA nearly had a whole team effort in there, and they almost took it, but the CSA almost had everything right. It looks like Archer's Brigade and 1st Ohio was sitting back here. I don't know if they didn't know of the plan, or they weren't informed. I know I just said the same thing twice, but who knows.
Oh my god, they're right there.
Shoot them. Shoot them, they're running.
Shoot them!
But the issue for the CSA, and I mean a really issue for everyone, is that with the 5-second flag response, people are spawning in really fast, and so if you ever want to wipe your opponent, you got to charge in fast and you got to win quick. On top of that, you got to knock those flags down early in the charge, or else a team can survive. So CSA is starting to put a little more pressure on. 2 minutes left. This is probably going to be the charge that will decide it all. CSA charging up top, bringing their flags forward, trying to keep the flags and respawns in the middle of it all. And CSA is also charging down the road. Kind of a two-pronged attack here. And they are starting to take it. Union trying to hold on point as well. Looks like a majority of the CSA, though, is charging point.
Like a fucking retard, huh?
So CSA is going to win on the point. Union, though, their foothold is very strong here. 1.5 minutes. Union could go balls to the wall here and try to hold the point, but they don't necessarily need to, right? Because both sides are going to be close to breaking here after this charge. CSA is going to regain to Union. Union's about in breaking. And so the moment the point is retaken, both sides will be in breaking. I know I'm repeating myself, but Union doesn't need to give up the spot because they can hold this. They can wipe these CSA guys, have everyone in breaking, and CSA is going to be forced to stay out here because if Union caps on breaking, CSA loses, so they'll be forced to stay out here, and Union can have great spots to shoot them down, but it looks like they're going to try to win it outright now, which might be a mistake for the Union side.
Don't let him over. Don't let him over.
Behind us. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep that fucking flag up, friend.
That looks like already team kill. Union's breaking. I mean, if Union gets more bodies on point with the clock, or are they? Oh, it's teetering. It's teetering. Oh, CSA takes it. Very, very close. All right. So Union has a bunch of main spawns running in here quickly. Again, if Union takes, they win the game. Did the gamble pay off for Union charging in there instead of trying to hold the little area? I mean, they still have a lot of CSA there sitting. They have plenty of time to get down here, though. So definitely possible. Union also surprisingly keeping their flags, but Snow Cactus, there's no Union up there.
Kill that guy, kill that guy.
He's going to be a little lucky there. Oh, he runs out of stamina. But Union getting formed up. Main spawn's moving up. CSA doesn't have a whole lot of time here. I mean, they have about, I would say, 30 seconds at this point. Nice arty shot from CSA. And unfortunately, the CSA infantry is just sitting and shooting, so it's going to let Union reform. A missed opportunity. Now they're starting to come. I don't know how many Union are trickling in from Maine here. I mean, it looks like you have some. A lot of CSA. Points starting to go back in CSA's favor. Union should just get out and reform at this point. And CSA is going to be able to hold the point tickets fairly even. And so, yeah. I mean, I wish Union would have kind of sat here. Maybe they thought they were under too much fire and they had to break out, but I guess this was the result of that. Maybe they could have won the point, but you know, granted, the really good thing for Union is that they were really aggressive. And they have 28 minutes left to find a way to win. So they can sit and wait for 5 minutes for these flags to despawn if they want, or they can go in. Now, it'll be intriguing to see where the CSA wants to hold. I assume they're going to fall back kind of where Union was at. Just hold off the points so that they can have at least maybe a little more protection from artillery. But also have just cover in general if Union does decide to charge. Because CSA out here can be shot by the Union. It's kind of hard to see through the wood line, but the angle is there.
Get your reloads.
Spread it out, spread it out, spread it out, spread it out. Get on the line. Let's go. Spread it out. Get ready to fight.
Sharps, on me, double quick behind. Behind, gentlemen. Let's go. North.
Your eyes peeled. Over here, second. Over here.
On my stomach. I want help. I'll be back.
Hello, Artie.
Holy shit.
So the best part about Artie is that raw reaction. So, Union's reforming. They still got 2 flags down there. If I were Union, you've got 28 minutes. CSA is keeping themselves on point. I mean, a portion is. Union can just shoot them out. You've got plenty of time. You have the superior cover here, and that being the stone wall. Sure, I mean, it's just visually not the easiest thing to see, but you could sit back if you want, just kind of shoot it out for a while. You've got plenty of time, and knock them down that way. You could also try to charge right in if you want, but CSA, I mean, they have defensive positions. They're very spread out, so also Union would kind of be charging across an open field, so glad the CSA already hit the gun, and not the 20 men that were all stacked up a second ago. So CSA, though, a little surprised they're not backed off, but they don't necessarily want to leave point. But, I mean, hey, if you leave point and Union just runs right up to it, then you'll have great firing shots at them, and you'll have plenty of time to charge him. I don't know how long my keyboard is. I've heard it's a loud keyboard. Someone I know just bought a PC. Is same brand as mine. This PC's been good, outside of the motherboard issues, which the Ethernet issues I had before with the Wi-Fi. I had old motherboard with my pre-built, bought a new one, set it all up, and have had no issues since, so it's been a beautiful thing. Anyways, not that that really matters for this, but the Union spreading out the shootout. Both sides are kind of going down at a similar pace, which is maybe a little concerning for the Union side.
Yeah, we live in the 19th century.
Coffin, I said don't say those words. You might emphasize me.
Help me.
Oh shit!
Keep him in him.
I'm stuck.
Plug. Thank you.
Maryland, break reload down the hill north.
Oh,
Break reloads,
Break the
Maryland.
reloads downhill. Let's go.
And here they go. Looks like they're going to start moving down. Those flags are still there. Someone tried to get one of them closer. Looks like they don't like their spot. They might stop here. There's a slight defilade here.
I'm just gonna close my eyes.
Holy shit, they suck at aiming.
And it looks like they're just trying to spread out, maybe hide away from that arty, which is getting a couple good shots. Also just setting themselves up close to the point. CSA is starting to respond a little bit. They're getting a little closer. They're also sending their guys outward. CSA is actually starting to take a ticket lead here. It really appears, at least through this round so far, that CSA is winning the shootout, but the Union side has been winning the charges. So maybe sitting back and shooting wasn't a great idea, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago. You would think it makes sense, but a little offense.
Pass it down to the units to the west.
Keep it off a second. If you can't see him, go up the hill a bit more.
Union setting a group up, getting those flags, and then falling back. But Union's going to hit final push. Clock is going to drop to probably 3-ish minutes. The final push timer is the amount of time it takes to get from your main spawn as an attacker to the point 2 times without bayonets and reloads.
When you go back to point, there's no one
Although, if you are beneath that final push timer, it's not like the black timer will change for that, right? If there's like a minute left and you hit final push as an attacker, it's not really going to change.
We're dying on our feet. We're dying in formation. They're dying in skirmishing. They cannon only killed one.
I mean, this is going down to the wire, though.
That means they suck at aiming.
Keep firing at the silhouettes
Keep up
of
the
the hill.
fire.
Make sure you're tucking it right, boys. As people die.
I'm gonna tuck it in your ass.
Hey, yo.
That's fine by me as long as you kill.
Hey, yo, hey. That was a good arty shot.
That guy disintegrated though.
I should have mentioned that earlier, too. You got the arty up here as well, which I don't know why they have a case on in the... Maybe they don't want it to get flipped, but... Union's gonna hit... They've got to hit final... Well, did you look at that? 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Union, infinite respawns, limited time. They're probably gonna shoot for... They can only shoot, in my opinion, for another 30-some seconds. All right, now I think you can shoot it for about a minute and then go in. You don't need to charge right away. That's definitely an option, but it actually might be better to charge in with the success of the charging today over shooting, which Union's starting to push up. CSA, they hit last stand, right? If they die, they do not come back. If they were dead when they hit last stand, they would automatically respawn so that CSA has a whole defensive wave, but flags don't really matter for CSA. You'll see defender flags really just charge in for real no reason, because they don't have a reason to live at that point. The flag bears, per se. They can't kill anyone with the flag.
Keep pushing through. Kill these rebel scum.
So, Union charge kind of fizzling out there. You got a large chunk on point, though. Flags are going to be the most important thing for Union here. CSA needs to get them down so that Union can't get those respawn waves in because they have infinite tickets at this point. CSA just needs more bodies on point when the clock hits 0 as well. And zooming out briefly here, it looks like Union's starting to overtake CSA here. Good amount sitting back and shooting. Which, even if they charged in and held, I don't know if CSA... I mean, it's going to be close. I think Union's going to take this, though.
Get the flags up. Get flags up.
fan. Hold the second fan. Hold the second fan.
Hold the flags out. Get the flags out. Get the flags out.
I got a flag. I got a flag. Get this other flag. Get this other flag.
Keep shooting if you can.
Hold it here.
We
Hold it
got
here.
it. We got to keep the flags up. Get it up.
CSA, oh my goodness, they're actually starting to hold it. Hold up. No shot they pull this off. Union's starting to take it back. CSA just needs more bodies on point when the clock hits 0 or after the fact. Union, similarly, they need to have more bodies on point when the clock hits 0, and then they need to continually hold it, which we've now hit overtime, so CSA just needs to take it back, but they don't have enough guys to do that, so Union's going to get a very good win here today. And, yeah, a really good win from them. I mean, they made a mistake or two, but you got the win in the end, and that is the only thing that matters.
Defensive. Stay on the defense.
Good job, boys. Good job, everybody. Good job.
Amazing. So, yeah, I mean, CSA just kind of let the Union walk up into a decent CSA spot. They didn't really try to throw them off, which, I mean, it's a fine strategy. It was working well for CSA because the shootout was working well for them. Union, realizing, eventually changed their strategy. They capped the point. It drew CSA into melee, which really benefited the Union today. And that evened things back out. With CSA eventually being able to retake the point. Union pushing out to charge CSA on the point. It's a questionable decision per se, because they had a fair amount of guys in that position, but maybe thought they were losing too much to be able to hold it in the long term, so they thought charging out was the right idea. Also, they were about to hold and win, but CSA held. Union reformed, kind of had a shit off for a little bit. CSA was winning that shootout. Union realized, they adjusted, pushed forward, got a lot closer. Things were very even, and then they won the final charge. So really good responses from Union the whole round. That's the big story out of this. But with that being said, we'll see you all shortly for round number 2. And here we are with the start of our second round on the Pry Grist Mill. 18% ticket advantage to the Union attacking side. Union has a special regiment this map. You can see them down there. The 4th Pennsylvania. They got the little short Sharps carbine rifles, which... which they shoot at double the rate of your normal weapons, so they're great at shooting, not so great at melee. However, to make up for this fact, the 4th Pennsylvania, they've all got pistols that they can use, which is great, and they also have swords as well. This company, or regiment rather, only has one company, which each company in this game has a flag. Normal infantry regiments have 2 companies, so you can see that the 10th U.S. regiment that the Union has, they have 2 flags, but since this is a special company, it has 1 flag, and it also has a limited amount of people on its side. 10th U.S. regiment, that other regiment for the Union, they have the Springfield 61. CSA, on the other hand, they've got the Holcomb Legion with the Sharps carbine rifle for NCOs and the Enfield for everyone else. And then they have the 1st Georgia, which has the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 42. So briefly looking at the server pop here, it's one towards the Union side. No artillery on this. However, I will note, this is what I mean, right? You got the Special 6th Pennsylvania Regiment. They are limited to, I think, 16 privates at most. And they don't have up to cap, but, you know, they'll still do the trick. And Union, just like last round, being very aggressive here. And this is your job as Union. You hit one of these flanks, either the far CSA right or the far CSA left, and you go in and cause chaos. Your job is to get on this side of the creek and just charge and have fun.
Brace these nuts upon your forehead after I teabag your corpse. Why do we have bayonets on his ass? Because it's not Sunday, you can put your bayonet on, brother.
And so CSA spreading out across the whole length of the map because you don't know where the attackers are going to go, so it makes sense to do that, but you have to respond quickly, and that's not always easy to do just because of the wooded nature of this map. But you got some CSA trying to pressure, but they're not able to dislodge Union. Union kind of picking them apart in detail. You got some more groups now, like 7th LA going in, Archer Brigade, getting thrown out. Meanwhile, you got 14th Tennessee trying to push up as well, and some more CSA groups trickling over here, but the Union blob endures. More like 5th Corps blob.
Hey, if you got like a, if you got a repeater, you got shots rev, you gotta plan that thing, cook.
So, I mean, great start for Union, about as great of a start as you want. And if you're CSA, you can't have Union linger on your side of a line, right? It's like you have an initial defensive line. CSA can't fall back that far because, one, it's all wide open here. I don't know if this is in bounds for Union where I'm looking at here, but regardless, I don't know why this is in bounds, but, I mean, I guess you can go back here if you want. However, you'd give up the point, which is over there. So you can't back out of this defensive line because you want to hold the point, and so you just can't lose your flank. And if you lose your flank, you got to try to retake it or hope that you brace one of the Union charges, which Union brought their flags up, which is great to see. In War of Rights, whenever you are trying to gain ground, you need to bring your flags. If you don't want to gain ground, you're just looking for a ticket loss, like on Burnside's Bridge, which I don't recommend this, but I've seen it before. You charge without bringing your flags. But anyways, Union's going to continue pushing here. They're just inching up closer. A lot of CSA, probably main spawns, trying to get around the Union side. Not a terrible idea from them. But if CSA did want to turtle all the way back here, they could, and they probably do it successfully, but you'd have to charge into the woods with Union holding with pistols, which that would just not work out great. So CSA kind of has to hold this line.
Be accurate with your shot. Every shot should be a kill from this range. Oh my god. Longer ranges than them.
So Union kind of spreading out to deal with that. I will note, similar to last round with the whole house thing, it used to be Union would just charge this left side, and Union will charge this left side, but in the past they would just charge and take this mill. And everyone would fight and charge into the mill when the point's all the way over here. Like, when I played this game, for a while I thought the point was on the mill itself. Which, it's always just funny to look back at that.
Trust me, if we suppress them enough, and they'll just drop.
Keep it up, Maryland. Keep it up, boy.
Oh shit, get back here!
So, CSA kind of doing a similar approach to last round. They're just trying to contain the Union. Not which, 14th Tennessee is like, we're not containing, we're going in. Fat Astronaut and Coruscant are going in. Oh, rip that guy, I didn't see his name. There's a more complex one. But, yeah, some of them went and took their shots, but it's literally, you could just take the commentary I had last round and paste it over here, right? CSA's got a nice little encirclement on them. They had a couple guys back here. The first South Carolina guys skirmishing back there. But they've got them in a containment, but if they want to throw them out, they all have to charge in. Very risky, especially with Union having those pistols.
Hey, front, north. Left, right, left.
We're gonna right northwest again.
Got some Union going over here. Trying to act maybe as a skirmishing, harassing force.
Yeah, we have CSA on our side of the river, boy.
They're directly in front of us.
So, CSA trying to see if they can shoot them out. It's definitely possible, but those flags are spawning. Union's got 3 flags spawning someone in every 5 seconds. But the thing is, right, CSA has normal infantry regiment, so they have 4 flags. So CSA, in theory, is able to out-respawn the Union. And we've seen in similar maps, like Hooker's Push, which is a Union attacking map, Union only has 3 flags. And the CSA defense, who has 4 flags, is always able to out-respawn Union and kind of throw them off the ground whenever Union decides to push forward and get into a shootout. However, there's a woods here, a lot of cover there, and that could really affect things compared to just a wide open field. So, I mean, I guess we'll see how this kind of turns out.
Hey, Mo, you want to cut the grass. You want to cut the grass.
Back it up, back it up.
Rough face, break your loads.
Load here, near me. Load here.
So, right now Union is down about a 1/4 of a stage. Again, not terrible. The point is much more in line with the CSA defensive line, unlike the last round, so Union would have to charge the CSA to get there.
Over here, 14th. Get on this beautiful stone wall that is.
Did you snipe for it though?
He signed at 162? No,
Yeah.
it's not yours.
Yeah. Are we all here? 1, 2, 3.
Hoorah!
Travis.
So I mean, also again, right? Union CSA spread out. Union, if they want, could try to punch out over there if they want to. And looks like they're going to try to punch out and put a little pressure up top here. They get a couple of hits on 6 Arkansas and SR.
Was in the land of Cotton, old times they are not forgotten. Look away. Look away.
Keep going, 14th. Keep going, 14th.
And that's there. 14th Tennessee is going around for a flank with some other groups as well. Again, trying to extend the line. How far down can they go? Okay, not that far. So, got some Union on this side as well. Some are actually pulling off, which Midwest, I am assuming they're going to push this way a little bit to get some flanking shots on the CSA, who really push themselves on the shore. This is a really good lesson to learn here, right? If you look from this view, right, if you look at the Union on the right versus the CSA on the left, you'll notice that Union is in the shade. Which characters are a lot easier to see? The Union in the shade or the CSA in the sun? Right? CSA in the sun, I know you can see both, but CSA, it's a lot easier to see the CSA character, like even the skin, for example, of the player outside of their uniform, right? It's a lot easier to see someone in the sun versus in the shade. And I mean, even just looking at the CSA here, right? I mean, look at the CSA on the right versus the left. It is a noticeable difference. So, in all cases, you should try to be in the shade if it is available to you and the position makes sense. The shade does a lot. Sure, you might be able to see a silhouette of a character, and sure, you still might be able to see it. But it's going to make it more difficult. And that little difficulty among all the other fun stuff in this game, it can make it extremely difficult to be effective. So, like the move for Midwest Brigade here, trying to get on the flank, but that's assuming CSA kind of sit there. And if CSA fall back, they can push up if they want. But I like that Union's kind of trying to spread themselves out a little bit. Again, just don't want to get under a lot of fire. Well, they're the bomb. Thank you. Excuse you.
A bunch of them coming down to the right.
The IB with a little questionable decision here. Again, right? It's like what 14th Tennessee did earlier. Not a terrible idea in and of itself. Some Union looks like they ran up and took some shots and fall back. Not a terrible idea. But you have to do stuff with your team, right? I mean, as CSC, you wouldn't want Union to necessarily just sit here. I mean, tickets are fairly even on this map. Generally, as an attacker, you want to hit the defender down to battle ready by the 30-minute mark. So,
Holy fuck.
Union on pace there.
Keep going, don't stop. Keep going.
Move the line to this log right here.
Which are they going in? 6 Arkansas and SR are going in by themselves, which, again, I don't know why CSA groups are going in on their own. It's just going to feed tickets to the Union, which they're down a little bit, so I'm sure they'd appreciate. So Union holds, they're going to fall back, and CSA can't be doing that. Again, the biggest thing I think you'll ever learn about this game in terms of strategy is that it is a million times better to do a bad strategy as a team versus doing everyone's own little independent great strategy. Because a lot of the War of Rights comes down to numbers. It's a simple numbers game. If you have more numbers, you're probably going to win. It's not like one side has like a machine gun or a turret, and that stuff can change the odds. But no, everyone has their one-shot rifle. The cav and the officers have the pistols, sure, which if you want to call that like a turret or a machine gun, be my guess. But the point being is that no one can be the hero in this game, and this game is very team-based, and it's a beautiful thing. Obviously, teamwork can be difficult to come by at times, especially when people have different ideas for winning games, but that's the joy of talking and communicating with people to figure that stuff out. Now, I do agree that there are right options for how to win certain maps, but you know, there's not always one way to win something, which I can appreciate. So, never really been over here, but 20th Georgia and 1st North Carolina have pushed up here. So 1st Ohio guys as well.
Alright, keep on shooting, Georgia. Right there to
Which
the
Union looks like they're just kind of shooting with for now. Tickets have actually fairly evened out here, which you kind of see is a result of those CSA groups charging in.
Move up! Move up, boys. On the fire saver!
Oh shit.
Hey man. Hey man. Oh, I shot you and your leader.
So, oh, here we go. Union gunning it across. Normally, I'd expect 8th Connecticut to just run right through, but it's 1st Maryland instead. Looks like they are heading... Actually, they're trying to loop through point, maybe trying to get a flank on CSA. Got LR in 14th, Indiana, 8th Connecticut starting to shift, putting pressure. You can see CSA groups are shifting over here as well, probably shifting with Union. And it looks like they're just trying to push up a little bit to distract a little more as 1st Maryland kind of goes across, and they're going to wipe the 14th Tennessee guys that are over here. I assume they're going to cut and go reinforce their friendlies. Which, actually, you've got CSA charging in, which really well timed here from 7th LA. Archers Brigade, I don't know if they saw that Union group leave, but they have a chance to outnumber. It looks like they just maybe ran up, got a couple kills, and fell back. Which was a little unfortunate because they could have definitely fully pushed the Union out there. So, rest of the Union on point, kind of going for a similar strat as last round. Once they cap, it's going to be a 12-minute counterattack, similar to what we saw last round. If the CSA defenders were in battle ready, which was the stage before this, the counterattack timer would be 20 minutes. And if CSA weren't taking losses, it would be 7 minutes. So, obviously, Union would maybe want to wait till taking losses, but at this point, I think they're just trying to force a melee, because Union's been winning the melees all day long. But I think the rest of the Union's got to shift on point, or else CSA will just defeat them with detail.
Got scrum grip over here, just keep going. Thank you, love you. I love you so much. 8th is best. Oh my god. I love running.
So they're going to get out of there with all of their flags, so good on Union. And the counterattack has begun. You got a couple charges over here, but again, similar situation to last round. Now CSA slightly up on tickets. That'll most likely change in the next few minutes. We'll see though. But CSA, at this point, I don't think time is much of a factor. Union hitting final push is going to drop that black timer. So CSA, they don't necessarily need to push in right away. If they can get into a nice position and, you know, get a ticket lead on the Union by shooting them down on the point, maybe they should do that and get a good ticket lead and then charge in. Because you don't want to come out of this with even tickets with the Union. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. CSA definitely getting a lot more aggressive. They're going straight in. So that's a clean wipe there. A lot of the Union were off by the mill. And one of those Union flags is down right now. Union starting to hold against the CSA mob. And trying to push back out. Both sides and taking losses.
Got that flag. Oh, he's still alive.
We got this, boys.
And Union actually holding their charge. And a lot of the CSA, those guys are not on point. And Union's barely surviving. Again, it looks like Archers Brigade over here. Very similar thing to what we saw last round. Is the Union withstanding a charge from most of the CSA, barely surviving. And they barely survived. And they're going to be able to hold this ground. And they're actually holding the point again. So, again, a mistake of not everyone going in. And again, is it a question of communication? Or did someone, or was this the plan? This was the plan. I don't think it was that great of a plan. But it could have been. Or did someone not listen? Who knows? So, regardless, they're kind of starting to back off. At least some of them are. It's 7th LA, Archers Brigade, Eagles Brigade, a mix of groups there. You got the 7th South Carolina. Actually, really just a mix of guys on point trying to retake it for CSA, which not a bad idea. Union could easily hold this if they want, but you're not necessarily going to see CSA numbers through the woods.
Here they come, gentlemen.
So Union also probably just taking the time to reform. So CSA is going to retake. They might get a little tickets here, not a crazy amount. But yeah, I mean, everyone lost about a third of a stage there. So Union will take that. Tickets are also fairly even. So, oh my, nice shot.
Flag, be ready to cross back.
So both sides reforming it up now. We'll see what Union wants to do. Again, in a great spot. Again, plenty of time. They're playing aggressive. I like it a lot. I know if I officer it, I'd be very, very aggressive. But yeah, I've seen the numbers when you're playing aggressive. But you know, being aggressive, I think, has a lot of pros. The charges are going to decide this game. Sure, shooting has become a lot more important, especially as of the recent update. However, the charges are going to decide everything. And if you can...
Steady, ready, and fire, fire, fire.
And if you could do those charges early in the match, I think it's a good thing. Because at this point, similar to last round, Union has a lot of time to do what they want to do. They don't have to worry about the time crunch. And especially when the officers can't talk over a Steam chat, that kind of decision making can become stressful. And if you don't have time and you can't communicate, you're just going to start doing your own thing. And as we know, you can't really do stuff on your own. So, with that being said, hello Union. I'm pretty sure this is out of bounds for Union, but you get 30 seconds out of bounds before you the game kills you automatically. But it looks like 8th Connecticut's going up. I don't think they brought a flag with them, but again, I think they're just looking to get some kills here. Which wouldn't be a bad idea. CSA sees them, though.
Fuck these guys up right here. Give them the bayonets.
Hello.
Kill him, kill
Get
him.
him, baby. Get him, get him, get him. We're back, baby. We're back.
Hey, man, you were loading. You were loading here, baby.
Damn, dude. Good job.
That's a wipe. No flag, though. Meanwhile, a lot of CSA pulled over there because 8th Connecticut, and actually the rest of the Union charged over here as well. So I don't know if that was the intended plan, but beautifully worked out here for the Union. Union tickets still fairly even, though it's CSA. But again, the Union just needs to keep things even, and they are perfect. But another good move here. Union's just really dominating the CSA today. I mean, Union's making a mistake or two, but I mean, it's not like CSA's playing bad per se, right? I mean, you would maybe argue if they need to charge the Union out of those positions sooner on both of these rounds, because you kind of on both of these rounds, CSA's kind of let just Union sit on their side and deal a consistent ticket loss of them, and it's not like CSA's getting a huge ticket lead out of all of it. So at this point, CSA hits breaking. Union can just cap and win. And we are very, very close to that. Union could charge point if they want and probably hit both sides to breaking. Especially since it would probably draw a lot of CSA into point. So CSA's just got to be ready for that. CSA's generally, I would say, its defenders got to get a third to a half a morale stage ticket lead to feel good about themselves.
So I gotta be like, don't do it. Like, you have so much to live for.
If I fire from up here, is this ramboing? I don't know.
You have so much to live for.
I'm in charge now!
Is there spawn northeast boys?
I'm stuck.
Yeah, don't shoot up that road.
Hold on, let me pull this bullet out of my back first.
Don't shoot up
I don't know if they know where they need to shoot. Yeah, they don't sound like it. Looks like you got some Union going across as well. Again, just trying to deal a little damage. Some third usher guys. Looks rip. But I mean, again, say Union could just charge to point, and it would draw CSA in most likely. Because at that point, you force CSA to make a decision, and generally they'll charge in.
Put the rock right there. Boys, there's rebels on the rock very close.
I'm literally stuck. Can you move? PFC backslash? Thank you.
You're exactly where you need to be, baby.
Ah, fucking
I'm
bunghole.
supposed to have a hole in my lung.
You know, this is a pretty neat invention, or an idea, how to get stuff up to the 3rd floor. The immersion, am I right? LR goes on the point. They're starting to cap it. I mean, it looks like they wanted to charge through, not necessarily cap, but none of them made that to that line. But CSA's got to start getting near that point because, I mean, maybe Union just wants to make this a final push last stand type of game. But based on last round, I wouldn't be surprised if they just try to go for it.
Hey, Maryland, 8th is going over. 8th is going right.
Hi,
Come on, boys.
Hold fire, hold fire, hold fire, hold fire. Maryland, push in.
Hold fire, push in.
Union hits braking. CSA shortly to follow. CSA starting to cap point as their guys move in. A lot of CSA are this way as well. Union might be caught in a really spread out charge here. But here we go. So Union's starting to take advantage. You got a fair amount of CSA sitting back. I know they're shooting off with some Union, but at this point, Union, you know Union's charging on the point. You can just look up on that bar on the top and see that it's going down pretty fast. But here comes some more CSA.
Get your gats out, boys. Maryland on Chris, northeast. Race northeast. Maryland, Chris. To the northeast. They're gonna come. North. Here they come, boys.
What about these guys on the right?
Stand together, boys.
Defend the flags.
And I see no reason why Union's going to lose at this point. CSA just did not go in together on that charge, and Union's going to get a 2-0 here today.
Charge hard, boy. Fuck away so I can shoot this guy. Whack.
Fuck this shit.
Face the right.
Yeah, that's it.
They're behind us.
Oh, well, that was not a bad idea from these $7 guys. But, yeah, that's a 2-0 sweep for the Union side. I mean, this really felt like a repeat of last round. Maybe a little quicker, but... Yeah, Union just did a good job. They just pushed across right away. And CSA just kind of tried to contain them. And Union eventually broke out cap point, forced a charge that brought everyone down a little bit more. And then Union just charged on the flank of the map. CSA got 2 spread out, so Union was able to do decent on one of those charges. And from there, it's pretty much over. So, with that all being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Again, we're going to be doing the Smoke and Steel Championship next week, but they had kind of an off week this week as some of the leaders were off, which is why we're recording this. But appreciate Ghost of Antietam for letting me record. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise the regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord, Clips channel, and more in the description as well. I appreciate you all. Could not do this without you, and we will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.